Alright, go ahead. Kang, what do you say?
Yeah. As I was saying, I was wondering if I can be an instructor for Freddy's Modern Kung Fu. Could be like a self-defense instructor or like, martial arts instructor.
Martial
What do you
arts.
say about that?
Like I think there's an aspect to it that's pretty difficult because this is something that's new that I didn't really put in consideration, but there's the business aspect of it, the legal aspect, where there's a lot of requirements in order to, not a lot, but there's requirements in order to make it like that, where you could do it legally, like for profit, basically. Like if you weren't doing it for profit, then it'd be easier. Like you just, all you gotta do is just set up like a certification structure, right? But if you do it for profit, now you're stepping into things where you gotta kind of watch yourself. Like then you almost pretty much become, it's like almost like trying to seek to become an employee of Freddy's Modern Kung Fu.
I see.
But to seek to become an employee, because this is such a new business, it's so, like I have a hard time even finding business for myself. So you need to we need to build a solid reputation where there's so many customers that I need instructors, and then I can hire employees, and then they get paid by the hour or whatever. They get paid like a decent amount of money, so then they can make a living from it. And to get to that point, it'd be hard, because it's just the nature of, of like, look at like martial arts out there. It's just so hard. I mean, think about it. Like, how many martial arts schools do you actually see around there that are actually successful enough where they can employ people? It's not like a huge corporation like something like Target or Best Buy or McDonald's or, like established businesses that generate income like all the time. Customers are always coming in. Or even working at a gym like at Export or something, or you could get employed there. But to find a martial arts school where they have so many customers that they could hire people to work for them, and then you got to pay out taxes, and then there's certain requirements, like something basic, like you need the CPR stuff and the first aid, you got to get that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not that complicated, but then there comes into the whole money thing, like making money. Like, if you want to make money from it, and say your goal is to make money to the point where you can make a living from it, it'd be so difficult. Because, not just so difficult, but you can't just, the person just can't like be dependent solely on me to bring in the customers. They gotta bring them in too. Maybe if I help, like say hypothetically, like I help somebody generate $500 a month from my efforts to find them people to teach, and then they put their own effort and find $1,000 a month worth of customers for themselves to teach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like to make a profession out of it, it takes a lot of hard work. Like that marketing and bringing people in. So it has to be like the person has to be really motivated to. It's not just about, oh, I could do like 100 push-ups and then now I could teach. No, it's like there's so much of it is marketing and like being able to find like students or customers to teach, and that's pretty much what it boils down to. And then it's like yeah, I mean, if the people have the motivation and passion to do that, then yeah, working together is a good thing. But then, if you're gonna work under the school, then a part of the percentage of what you make goes to the school. Because say like, you say like Kang's personal fitness training, then or Carl's personal fitness training, that's all you, and then you find your own customers and you keep all the money. But if you say Freddy's Modern Kung Fu, then now like your percentage of your earnings comes to me and then, or to the school, and then the school is gonna get taxed on, like almost considering you like an employee. So then we gotta pay taxes on your wages and things like that. So basically, what ends up happening is your customer's not paying you. Your customer's paying Freddy's Modern Kung Fu Incorporated, and then I cut out the check to you. So say your customer's paying you $20 an hour, then $10 might go to the school, and then 10 goes to you, and then 5 goes to the taxes. That's pretty much what happens. Like 5 goes to taxes, 5 goes to the school, 10 goes to you. You know, and it's just like, that's pretty much what it'd be. I mean, if you, the way that I see it is almost, you know, like say you wanted to be a personal trainer, well, then you'd have to get, well, people would be like, are you certified? And then you'd have to go seek out some certification, and say you go get certified online, and it costs maybe say $500. So you pay $500, you go through that 3-month online training course, and then now you say that you're a certified personal trainer. But then you still need to find your customers.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And then you still need to like, okay, you find your customers, you have the certification, but then you still need the first aid in the CPR. That costs money. And then you find your customers, then where are you going to train them? Then you still need to find somewhere to train them. And then you bring them to your home, they're like, well, I don't want to train here. It's like not even a commercial place. Or then you could get in trouble too, because then the state will come in and say, well, you're not allowed to like operate a business in your home. You need a commercial business location. So there's a lot of things involved, you know what I mean? So like it's not just like so easy. You know, like it's not just about, oh, you know, I could do like nice kicks and, you know, now I could just teach anybody. Well, if you're not intending to teach for profit, then it could essentially work that way. Oh, I'm good at self-defense, I could teach you self-defense. But as soon as you start charging money and all that stuff, now it's getting into like some things where you could get in trouble. Like, say, like a school owner that owns the actual school, say they're charging $40 an hour, and then you step in and say, oh, I'll charge $20 an hour, and then they'll be like, well, they might like call the state on you and be like, well, he's not allowed to operate his business. He doesn't have a business license. You know what I'm saying? And then you get fined and you get in big trouble. You know, like
so there's a lot of regulations involved in this, right?
As soon as you start charging money, yeah. There's a lot of things that have to be watched out for. Like say even if I advertise you or whoever to be an instructor of FMK, then the city investigators could look at the website and be like, are you paying these instructors? Like, how much are you paying them? How much money are they making? Like, where are their tax forms and all this? It gets really complicated. And then I take a burden. I had to take a lot of responsibility for all my trainers, and then I'm not really getting much in return, like almost nothing in return. Because if you get, say you're training somebody and you get sued, you don't get sued, the school gets sued. Because you're under the school. And then if you're making money, you take $20 from the customer, it gets logged. I gotta pay taxes on that. And then I gotta pay you out. And then then there's gotta be some money left for the school to even make it worth it.
Okay.
Like say, okay, you know, you charge 20 bucks, the customer gives you $20, and then I give you 15, and then they tax me $5. The school gets absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of like things involved where it makes it not as simple as you might think it is. It's like to take on an employee, it's a big deal.
Okay.
You know, but if I label everybody like assistant instructors and nobody's getting paid, then that's different. You know, like say, oh, you know, you're an assistant instructor and somebody trains with you, and then the money comes to the school, and then like you're not getting paid, but it's like a contribution to the school. Then it's simple. It's like operating like almost like a non-profit organization or whatever, right? But once you start charging people, it turns into a big mess.
Okay.
You know, and then that's the thing that makes it very complex, and that it still needs to be figured out. I mean, really, like, it's kind of like you see, restaurants do this, like the mom and pop restaurants, for example, where they'll hire somebody to wash the dishes, and then they'll just give them cash under the table.
Mm-hmm.
But once you go to the corporate level, and say you're working at like a big name restaurant like Chili's or like Olive Garden, they can't do that. They're gonna get in big trouble if they did that.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna get fined. Their business could get shut down because everybody that works there, all their income needs to be logged. So if you plan to make profit, it's very complex. It's not just about meeting up to the fitness standards or being able to defend yourself and teach others how to defend themselves. It's not just about that. It's a lot of it is this business thing. A lot of it is marketing. You know, like essentially say you're so like extroverted and you're such a good business person that you found 20 people that want to learn from you. Then you're like, well, why should I even cut out money to Freddie or Freddie's Modern Kung Fu, because I could just have, I just make my own, I'll just have my own business. But then at the same time, if you're not working with Freddie's Modern Kung Fu, it could become a lot more difficult, because say, hypothetically, say you lived in Chicago and you find 20 customers, but then you got nowhere to train them. You got no facility, you got no equipment, you got no like support from me and the other people. Like the support that you get here as far as the training facility and the YouTube channel and the videos and the networking could be worth that cut. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you rent out your own studio to train people from, it might cost you $1,000 a month. And then the money that you're making, it's not all profit. You got to cut it to the landlord. So rather than cutting it to the landlord, you might as well cut it to Freddie's Modern Kung Fu, so then we work together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even if you work separate, it's not necessarily, it's not easier. It's not necessarily easier. You know, so, but that's essentially what I'm boiling down, you know, I'm specifying is that, like, when we work together and it's a business relationship, it's a lot more involved than just, oh, he's good at combat and he's fit. There's a lot of marketing involved. There's a lot of like business responsibility involved. You know, if you train somebody and they get hurt or something, then the school could take the fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. And I think that's the reason why you can't do like contact sparring, like heavy contact, because you don't want to like hurt your own students.
Yeah, I mean, even when it's not even heavy contact, just not even light contact, like touch contact, people has been getting hurt. Like their fingers have been getting jammed. Look at Toda Ryan, he broke his finger. You know, there's other people that I'm training, a lot of people where their finger gets jammed and then it hurts for months. You know, Roberto, look at his knee, bang, look at his knee, he got a torn ACL. It's like, we're not even doing like heavy contact, you see all these injuries occurring. And people they don't even do sparring, they just do fitness and people get injured. You know, so there's so much injury potential and there's no like, there's no like real benefit to the school when you do it like heavy contact sparring. Once somebody gets injured, you lose income right there. The person's not coming to train anymore. And then now they might have to go to the hospital, and then that costs a lot of money. You know, and then if you don't have a good relationship with them, they could even sue you. So I mean, there's so much involved in the real world, in the business aspect, that people don't realize. You know, but you know how I started off? You know, I started off in my basement, and I'm just training like maybe my friends or some people that I know. Like that's different now. Now it's like commercial. Now it's like out there in the open, and strangers could stop by, and investigators could stop by, and it's just a lot of stuff that you got to worry about. You got to worry about getting sued. You know, you got to worry about the city. You know, because if you're training somebody and you're not like CPR certified, then the school gets in trouble. We get fined like we could get fined up to a few $1,000s. You know that these tickets go up to they told me up to $10,000.
Ouch.
You know, like it's serious. Like something that you don't know is a regulation. Like if you don't have a CPR, for example, and they catch you, they could literally put you out of business. Just like there's a restaurant like right across the street from here. They didn't have like when you operate a restaurant, there always has to be somebody on duty that's food like sanitation certified. But the person wasn't on duty, and then the investigator came in, and then they got a ticket for like over $500. And then they got another ticket, and they pretty much almost shut down the business. So it's like serious. Like when you operate commercially, it's something you gotta be very careful about. And that's the thing that when you put in consideration with all these ranks and stuff like that, it's not just about, oh, you know, a ranking structure, oh, this person's at a black belt or whatever. If you plan to train for profit, there's a lot of stuff involved that you gotta take care of. And it's gotta be even, you gotta make it even worth it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, you're talking about a start-off business right here. I'd have a hard time even paying somebody $5 an hour. You're better off getting a job somewhere else where you're making like $20 an hour or more, and then just training here, like for yourself. But if you try to make money and make a living training this, you pretty much have to live very poor, and you gotta be patient and let time, you know, let time build. It might take you 10 years before you can even start making a steady income of $12 an hour. Like that you'd be even lucky to get $12 an hour. Like, even like, look at places like McDonald's, so successful, so much money, and look at how much they pay their employees. It's like minimum wage.
Right? Yeah.
Minimum wage. Then look at how much money they're making. So how much money do you expect to make working for FMK? I mean, really. You know, you'd have to really put in your own effort to find your own customers. Like basically, say you lived here, I'm like, all right, Kang, you know, you can use this facility to train people, and I'm not even going to charge you to use it. Like that's an opportunity right there. That's like an entrepreneur opportunity. Everything's here already. You don't got to pay rent. You don't got to pay for the equipment. All you got to do is find customers. Look at me. I had to do everything. We had to build this place up from the ground up. Spend like over $70,000 to renovate this place. I had to buy all the equipment. I had to get the YouTube channel, build my own reputation, do the Facebook, build a reputation there, find my own customers.
No wonder you can teach for free, man. There's no way you could teach for free. I mean, people just gotta understand that, though.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, you know, all the hard work involved. I mean, Jenny is like watching the kids so I could do this, you know? You know why? I keep putting out all these videos so I can keep trying to make money, and the customers are not guaranteed. Like, you got customers that leave all the time, and then you gotta find new customers. You know, so it's just like, it's so hard. You know, you gotta work extra hard, and so when people say, can I be instructor here? If you want to get paid, you gotta think, how hard, you know, you gotta put in a lot of effort too. You know, like, if you find 20 of your own customers, then that's good. Or even 10 of your own customers, that's good. You know, or we gotta have so many customers that I can be like, you know what, I don't have enough time to teach this class, so I need your help. So, hey, why don't you teach us this class and I'll give you $10 an hour or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I gotta be able to make money. Like that class, I need to make, say, at least $50 an hour. Then I can pay you $10 an hour. Because, I mean, 10 goes to you, and then I gotta pay the taxes, and then I gotta pay the rent, and I gotta pay all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, when you go to commercial gyms, the personal trainers there, they charge like maybe $60 an hour, $90 an hour, because they gotta pay the gym. You know, half goes to the trainer, half goes to the gym. Pretty much, that's typically how it goes. You know, so like the only way that I can survive and compete against them is I gotta undercut their prices.
Okay.
Like they're charging $70 an hour, and then I come over here. Okay, you know, I charge you $30 an hour. and then it's worth it for them to come here. But that's because I'm the owner. But if you come in here and you're working for me and you charge 30 and then the school gets nothing, that's not helping the school at all. So then you charge 30, then you might have to cut over 10 to school, and then you get 20. You see how it goes?
Oh yeah.
It's like basically like you like trying to live at your apartment and not pay rent. Like you have to pay rent. You know, so that's, you know, when it comes to like making money, it's very difficult. And like I'm trying to fill up my classes, and you see like every morning class is not filled up. The evening classes are not filled up.
Yeah, I see three people came to, no, I think 2 people came to train with you today, right?
Yeah.
Daming and Ning.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to the other people, man? Are they
Well, like I said, you know, sometimes they get lazy or they just don't show up. And I've learned to not like take it personally or just like get overstressed about it. It's like, you know, you already paid the money, you don't show up, you lose out, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's not like you want to, though.
Yeah, I mean, they don't show up, you know, and like, and I've learned, you know, like people that come in, like they'll sign up and they might sign up for a month or even 3 months, and then they might come for like a few days and they might not show up ever again. And that's what the gyms take advantage of too. But that happens a lot, you know, like people sign up and then they just come a few times, they don't come back.
Yeah, I think I'm being taken advantage of like that. You know, the gym, I talked to you about Bally Fitness. I've not been going for a long time, and I'm planning on like canceling it. Because to me, there's no benefit to going in a gym if you're not even, if there's no benefit in keeping getting charged $30 a month if you're not even gonna come, you know. So